shit, nothing like that. Um, we spoke about how, the other day about the TikTokers that came to our house and wanted to get in, wanted to see the view, and even after, five different people said no, they won't give up. But it's kind of gotten a bit more serious now, surprisingly. Surprisingly. So I'm gonna run over the story really quickly again. I spoke about on stream. We after the Beyblade tournament, after the Beyblade tournament, we hosted a little, get together with friends. It was supposed to be a party, but then we did 2 hours before. So it was, our little hangout at the Envy House, little board game night, little fun thing, and then
Small party, wasn't a rager or anything like that. There was like not many people there.
and then I said the story before. You can look at my past VOD. At like 1 a.m., these like TikTokers at the time, we weren't aware. It took like a lot of investigating into after to see who it was. But at the time, these four people from what we saw, 2 cars. I think there was more because they said that they were all from a certain house. They all said they were at a certain house. And anyway, running through the story again, a quick little rundown before I go more into it is they rolled up. Our friend, she was at the bottom ground and she answered, and they were like wanting to get in, and they were like talking about how they used to live here before, but I don't think, no, they didn't say that to Rita.
They said that to us.
They said that to you guys.
Yes.
So do you want to explain it from that side, and then I'll explain what happened and what they said and
Okay.
lied about?
So what happened was that they came and our friend was at the door. Did you say her name?
Yeah, we can, because I feel
No,
like
I
chat
don't.
knows.
I don't. We came. Our friend answered the door, and these people said that they wanted to go see the view upstairs and stuff like that. Our friend said, "I don't think you can." And then she went to go close the door on them, and our friend insisted that they put their foot out when she tried to close the door and tried to insist like to come in and like come see the place, and it would only be 5 minutes. And our friend was like shaken up a bit. Our friend literally just got in like a shooting like 3 days before, and now people are like insisting to come into the house.
Shooting that she was in. I talked about on my stream before with her. She told you guys the story, so I think that's why she was even more
Shooken up.
yeah, it was like PTSD. And then
So she came up the stairs, like she closed the door, she locked it. She came up the stairs, she got Lewis, and I didn't want Lewis going downstairs by himself with like a group of people outside the door to like go tell them to leave. So I went downstairs with him. We went down there. We told them to leave. Lewis said that there's people of social status that are in the house. There's a small group of people that we don't want strangers here, and we don't feel comfortable having strangers come. They insisted, oh, well, we used to live here. Keep in mind that we said social status. We never said influencer or anything like that.
we probably should mention, like, before the 2 others that left, that chat, I rated Jake the other night, and we spoke about this before if you were in my stream. When Jake and Space were leaving, they were like, they tried to get in through them too, and they were like, doesn't matter if you lived here before, that's some home invasion shit. And then they got in their Uber and left. So that was before they knocked again and Rita answered. And then now from where you were going.
So she came upstairs. She was like clearly shaken. Like I said, she just went through a crazy moment. She came upstairs to go get Lewis. Me and Lewis went downstairs, but she, like I said, she told us that there's people downstairs. She told them to go away, and when she was closing the door, they put their foot in front. So she got us to come downstairs. We came downstairs. We talked to them. We told them, like I said, multiple times, like, nah, today's not a good day. Like, don't, just, you have to go. And they insisted maybe like 3 or 4 times. Lewis told them that there's people, like I said, of social status. Now, when you say social status, we never said influencers. It can be, it's a big house in a nice area. Like, it can be a politician. You never know who the hell it is. Like, they don't know. They came on a Sunday night. It's very uncomfortable to randomly come at like 1 a.m. to someone's house, like on a Sunday night. Like, that's the most entitled shit I've ever heard in my life. What if it wasn't other influencers here? What if it was like an old woman, or like a couple that's living here that like you don't just show up to someone's house. But we told them to leave. They kept insisting, and then they said, "Oh well, we're influencers too," just assuming that everyone's an influencer that was here, and proceeded to show us that they used to live in this house.
And then for me at this point, while they were saying that to Lewis and PD and kept trying to get in, our friend, she like came upstairs to me. I told the story before. She knocked on the bathroom when I was in the bathroom with someone. I was helping someone in the bathroom. They were having issues, and she's like, "There's people like here. They're like outside. They're refusing to leave. They're refusing to leave. They put the foot in the door." I wasn't aware that Lewis and Pete were still down with them at the time, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's freaky, that's scary." And obviously it's awkward because if old regulars here remember the razor issue when I was living in Ireland alone with a weird guy leaving razors outside my house. So it obviously was not as serious as that, but I just freaked out because I hear that like they put the foot in the door and several people have asked them to leave and they're not leaving. So I run to the balcony. We have like Andrea there. This is when you guys came out because I went out and I'm like, "Get off our property, leave, you're trespassing." And then obviously they start yelling back at me and they're like, "We used to live here, we used to live here, we used to live here." And I'm like, "It doesn't matter, get off, you're asked to leave, get the fuck off our property." I did say cunt. I said it very strongly. I was like, "You fucking cunt, get the fuck off, you're asked to leave, you've been asked to leave several fucking times, get the fuck off our fucking property, get the fuck off, cunt." All this stuff. And then I wish I had the picture from the balcony view, because so we have a gate, chat, like that is our property. You pass that gate, that is our private property.
And that's trespassing.
And they went in and they went to the second door trying to like, knock and call on it, and every time someone said no, they kept trying to get in. So at this time I was like, I also did not fully know who they were, the social things, and I'm like, get out right now, get out right now, I'll spit on you, get out right now. So I did spit, like I said, but I spit beside the car. I did not spit on them. I spit beside the car.
And keep in mind, they're at the door and she's on the balcony. There's no way in hell that like she can hit them with like. It's far enough where like there's no way in hell that she can hit them with spit from that balcony. It's at least what, like 20, 25 feet away. Mm-hmm. It's a reasonable distance where there's no way in hell that she could reach them with spit.
So then after that, the one guy, we haven't identified a few of them. We only know who two of them are for sure.
And they admitted to even showing up.
And this is where I will say the only like mistake, or what I do feel bad about and is my fault, is they were saying, so they told Pete and Lewis, "We're all from the Go House, all of us out here, we're all from the Go," and they showed us like, they showed them TikToks, they showed you like pictures, and then when I was seeing the pictures, I'm going to go back to the main story, but I was manic the next day, and I was like, no, I'll continue it, and then I'll go to that point, because there's so many, I don't want to skip anything. But obviously then I started, screaming down at them, and then after I spit beside the car, one of them got a rock, and he like hurled it at me and Lewis was beside me too. I was obviously more on the balcony. Hurled the rock at us, and it like missed me by a bit, smashed through our screen, and I'm so glad we have proof of that. Smashed through a screen and marked our window. And so then after that was like it caused a crash, it caused a noise, and like really loud. And that's when Miko, because Mika was in the bed lying down. Because like I said, she felt sick. She was trying to like have a little nap and then come back to the like board game night, and she comes out and she thinks it was a gunshot, and then I see like seeing Andrea and Miko being like, okay, we have to get the cops here, we're gonna have to get the cops here, and then Rita saying like, I already called them, I told them to put the foot in the door. I wasn't fully aware of the situation, so after that rock thing, it was like a fight or flight situation. Run down the stairs and like go after to chase them off, because I'm like, so we were lucky that we had a little get together that night with people, but usually it's just 4 women in a house. Yeah. Me, Andrea, Alex, and Miko. So in my head, seeing 2 of my closest friends being terrified, I'm like, okay, fight or flight, and I chased down after them. I ran and I was like, get off our property, get off our property.
But this is after they were yelling at her to come down and fight them. There's men yelling at a woman to go down and fight them. Like, a man should never be yelling at a woman. And it was the man that
threw the rock too. He was the one that hurled it at me. So I go down, and as I'm running out, like I'm in my bare feet, I'm all that, the 2 cars, and what was kind of creepier about it was like they were blocking our only entrance.
Yeah, there's only one entrance and exit, like out of the way, and there was 2 cars, and like 2 large cars. Like one was a either a Dodge Charger or a Challenger. It's a big motherfucking car. The driveway space, like there's not even driveway space. It's just the road, and like they blocked the whole road. The only one car can really fit. They blocked pretty much the whole thing, and there was another car behind them. So like, even if our guests wanted to leave or whatever, like it would be hard to get to the Uber. You would have to pass them to get to the Uber or to their car or whatever, and it was very uncomfortable. You don't just show up to someone's house, block the entrance and exit, like the exits, and like trespass into like through the privacy gate and knock on the door at 1 a.m. on a Sunday night.
The thing is, if this turns into a proper like legal stuff, at least 2 people that we haven't named yet that left the hangover early said, remember what I said today, like they were leaving and they saw like a bunch of like, they call them teens, like being super loud outside and going like that, and they're like, what are they doing? So going on from that, getting on to the next part, I go after them. I run out, I chase them off, and like they get in the cars, they back up, they drive down out of our like the entranceway, like the 1 block road, and then they stop again, and then the guy who threw the rock came back out, and he's like, at first he was like, come on, try spit on me again, I'll like beat your ass. And then I'm like, okay, come back up here. And I was saying come back up here because it's like, if he fights me on my property, it's like, I'm like, okay, come back up here then, come back up. And then he started like going towards you guys. He was like, no, never mind, I wouldn't fight a
woman. But then he started running up the hill to go after Lewis and I, which were coming down the hill.
But then like that was, I spoke about this chat, Miko tweeted about it, like we were all freaked out, we were all like, everyone, like the 5 people that were there like on the balcony, and there were more up top, like we were more freaked out because we saw like the freaking baseball rock like come at me, but luckily hit the screen instead, so everyone was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then this is where I messed up. Oh no, we'll bring that up after this part. So this is where I messed up, and this is my fault. So that night, after I obviously chased them away, I had to sit down with my roommates, and my roommates were like, you cannot do that again. What if they had a gun? What if they had a gun? And I was like, I knew they didn't have a gun because he threw a rock at me where he obviously wanted to attack me, but it's like, he would have, like, if he had a gun, he would have pulled, and that's why I was able to chase them away and stuff like that. And then, and then the next day, I won't lie, chat. So right now, I actually have take it back to Ireland. Take it back to Ireland because I'm a bit freaked out. I'm a bit, all over the place and stuff. And then the next day, I wake up and I'm asking everybody, I'm like, did you get their face? Did you see anything? And we know about they showed us the Go House. They showed us obviously, people know who it is. And I was on a manic spree, and I was gonna call every one of them out in separate TikToks and be like, why do you think this is okay? And that is my fault. That is my mistake. That is my mistake because if you go on their TikTok, there's 11 people they're following, and we only saw 4 people, but there was someone else driving the car, and there were 2 cars. So I just assumed for some reason they were all there trying to come, and my mess up was the only reason why I'm like my mess up is because it's hard to explain because the picture the guy showed us, where is it, and I can pull it up, had like 7 people in it compared to the 11 following, and I was just gonna call them out all out because I didn't know they had disbanded at this point, and I was like, this is who you support, this is who you do this, and I fucked up by saying one name and not doing all the others, and he is like, we still don't know if he was one of the people just yet. We still don't know because we have like a few of them that are unidentified. We only know who 2 of them are. But at the same time, that was a stupidity thing on my thing. I do apologize for that. I was manic. I should have done it all at once instead of doing one TikTok at a time, making a singular one for each of them. So after that, I was like, no, instead of doing them separate, I will just call them all out from who they said they were from the Go House and their names. And so I started naming everyone that the Go House, was following, because I didn't realize the Go House was disbanded at this time. I really thought that they're all still together, and I'm like, how are you gonna let people do that? How are you gonna support these type of people that roll up on a Sunday at 1 a.m. and when you get turned away, you keep trying and you keep like knocking, you put your foot in the door, and then you get the others, and it keeps going, and then you throw a rock at the thing. No, not that they don't deserve the apology, chat, because right now we only saw like 4 people, someone else that was driving, and we only identified 2. So it was wrong of me to name random names when possibly some of them could not be identified because the house is broken up now. So that is the fault that I will take. I shouldn't have done that. That was a dangerous move, and that's why, I freaked out. But then after all that, we had a little freak out last night with the noises, and an Uber driver pulled up, and he was in a Dodge Challenger, which is what they were driving, and this was in daytime, and I freaked out. I almost ran in the elevator, and that's like so embarrassing because I was so like confident and like scary that night, but it was more like a fight or flight thing. You blame someone not involved, but they showed us pictures of like all 8. They were like, this is us, and that's why I do take the fault on that. But this is the thing, are you sure he's not involved? Because there's like
2 unidentified
unidentified people, someone that was driving, and they all said that they were from that house, so it's not confirmed he wasn't like not involved because he didn't reach out to me. But then this is where like I'm kind of like really so we wake up, and one of the girls that were there made a TikTok, and she said that I yelled slurs at them, that I was yelling slurs at them, which I definitely did not do. I don't know why I would do that, and I don't know. I think that's what makes me so scared is the fact if they're confident enough to roll up at someone's house at 1 a.m. and then they're also confident enough to, after being asked to leave, after being yelled at to leave, throw a rock at one of us, seeing that now they're like starting to like change their story and say stuff, it's insane. Oh wait, someone said something.
Yeah.
Where?
Scroll up. It said in the comment, she said that she thought it was slurs and curse words were the same thing.
Okay,
she said that she thought slurs and curse words were the same thing. She used the wrong word. She used slurs. A curse is not a slur. So she used slur, and like people are thinking like.
But then the comments barely see it. So the comments like she posted the video and said I was saying slurs, and then in comments she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my bad. It was just a cuss word," but people were coming at me being like, "Why are you using slurs at them?" And I just feel like incredibly. I feel like I'm insane because we were so frightened during that, and now they're making up lies. And then she also said that like I was sick and that I possibly had COVID, and that was like the point of me spitting on them, which I was literally at a Beyblade tournament that day. QE always COVID test people. I wouldn't have rolled up with my friends if I felt sick. I wouldn't have rolled up there if I had COVID. I had a COVID test. I can call the Beyblade tournament people and prove it. I like
literally just did a COVID test.
We bought one right now to prove it. I'll do one right now. So it's just like it is defaming like okay.
And like here, I mean, here's the one right here that proved negative. We just did this like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. We have another one we're gonna do right on stream.
Because I didn't feel sick, but she was saying it where I'm starting to like. It's insane because everything she's saying is a full-on lie, but then I'm like, I want to make sure because and what's really freaking me out is like my TikTok comments were like, yeah, but you yelled slurs at them, or yeah, but like you spit on them when like you were ill or stuff like that, and I'm like, none of that is true. None of that is true. Hold on, I'm gonna take a COVID test now to prove it. I'm gonna like do COVID test now to prove it, and this is why, chat, like I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because if they respond again with any more lies, it will have to become a legal case, and I will have to get all the like people that were here that night and we won't be allowed to talk about it publicly. So I'm just saying what's like. Oh. And then I think the reason why I'm just a bit all over the place is like, don't do a COVID test live. Wow. I'm that confident that I'm not sick. She called me sick. If I don't, I'll do one live because I'm not sick. And she was saying that I might have COVID when I know for a fact I don't. Ooh. Ooh. Legal issue won't do anything. It's not a thing. I shouldn't read that. Okay, I don't owe her anything. But the issue right now, chat, is she is lying to her viewers, saying that I said slurs at them. Do you know, like, how, like, that is a big issue. They trespassed on our property. They threw a rock at me. And I think the only safe point I have is in her video, she made up 2 different lies that I had COVID. And, like, they wanted to get in the house so bad where if you knew I had COVID, why were you trying to... If you thought I had COVID, why did you come in? Like, why would you come in?
And she also admitted to trespassing on the property and also admitted that someone threw a rock. So, like, she literally admitted in her... And I have the TikToks saved. I saved them all in case they try to delete them. But they literally admitted to illegal activities. They literally admitted that someone threw a rock at her. A man threw a rock at a woman. And they admitted to trespassing onto the property.
And then they made up 2 different lies. But should we talk about the Instagram?
Oh, okay. So, should I show the pictures of the Instagram? So
I'm worried
we had
if
okay.
They come back, yeah.
We had a video of the.
So we have a video of them like when they were like.
She showed it on stream the last time. and we were trying to find who the person was, what they looked like, and stuff like that. So I was going around looking at the Instagrams and stuff. I luckily happened to do this like a day or two before like anything got out. And I found the Instagram and I screenshotted and I found one of the person like that was in it. I screenshotted the Instagram photo of the outfit that he was wearing from that night. And then when the story comes out, they deleted that photo of the outfit that matched the outfit that he was wearing in the video. Yeah, the video is a little blurry, but you can totally tell like it was a, should I say what the, no. It was
Balenciaga.
It was a Balenciaga sweater that has the word Balenciaga. Like, you're an idiot to be like committing illegal activities while wearing designer clothing. Like, it's like you want it to be caught. So we found him, and the reason why we know that he's guilty. One, they admitted to him being here on camera when they were making their statement. They literally admitted to being here. And two, like, the admission of guilt, in my opinion, is that he deleted the photo of the outfit that he was wearing the night that he came in.
We got so lucky that PE screenshot it, because he saw how scared we all were in the house. So there was like a few people that saved us. Like, you guys helped find and who it was, because we were freaking out. So we were lucky that we had a hangover that night, because the thing is, like, in the moment I can do fight or flight, but then after I was like, being Miko or looking at apartments now, like, it kind of ruined this whole like house stuff doing that. But oof.
Like, they're obviously, their credibility is not credible at all, because they literally just committed 2 crimes in a row, admitted to it, and made lies about like what happened throughout the night. So it's like there's 4 things against them right there. Like,
but I am relieved that, like, even though she did make 2 lies, chat, I know I can promise, but I also have witnesses that was there with us. I did not say slurs. I did not say, I was not sick with COVID. I was, well, we're worried on this one, I know, but I was not sick with that. But then also the fact that, wait, should I say it? Hold on. So she was creating up in the video, she was saying a lot of like lies that didn't happen, and then she also like misgendered our friend.
She said a man answered the door,
and it was
first.
It was obvious. She has long hair. She got titties.
Yeah, it's our transfer. She has titties. She has long hair.
She misgendered our friend, and she's like, this guy comes to the door, and like, this is our friend who she recently was in a shooting, and this was when they put their foot through the door, and it's just like one thing on top of the other.
Like, how do you misgender someone during Pride Month? Like, that's fucked up.
How do you misgender someone? That's all. Like, obviously a woman. But I had like, it is just, I just want to like, because she said 3 different lies that didn't happen. I wanted to clarify here, because obviously the comments for my thing were like, you know, how are you going to do that when you said a slur? How are you going to do, which I didn't. How are you going to do that when, like, you know, you spat on them when you have COVID? I'm not sick. I don't know why she said that. I didn't spit on them. I spat beside the car when they were in our property as a warning shot. I said this on the other stream. I literally said, and then there's just so much inconsistency. But it's like, it is a serious situation at the same time, because now, because of this, our house is kind of out there, knowing they can like come up, and knowing that like 3 of them are still unidentified. Oh yeah, knowing that like 3 of them are still unidentified is what freaks me out more too. I know that they said we're all from the Go House, and that's, once again, I was dumb for just saying names straight away. Are you gonna make another video? It depends. We have to see where we're going right now. The only reason I'm doing the stream is to kind of explain my side, but it depends on how it goes, whether we do have to take this to like a lawsuit, or whether we have to, get sorted. Um, but and then like, well, to be fair, she kept lying during it. She also said that I threw a vase at them. First of all, who has a vase in a games room? But I did not throw a vase at them. Thankfully, like we have so many on her side. Gina was there. Gina is the one that picked up the Connect Four. It was a plastic Connect Four set at them that I threw because of the whole ass baseball rock they threw at me, and that's why, remember, I have the VOD. I was embarrassed because it floated down and all the pieces went everywhere like confetti. But then in her side, she was like, she threw a vase at our car and it smashed into pieces. And I'm
it
like,
was literally a piece of plastic. Like it was literally a thin piece of plastic. It's a Connect Four board. We were literally having a board game night. Like it wasn't a rager. It wasn't anything. No one was wasted. Like we literally were just having a board game night.
she also did say that about you too. So she said the like two men that came down, were drunk, but
I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in about 6 months.
He's sober.
I don't drink anything. So for her to say that, I even have videos on my TikTok saying like I'm proud of myself. I'm 5 months sober. I don't drink. And for her to say that I was drunk is kind of fucked up because like I've been really good the last 6 months, and like we go out, like I get offered drinks all the time. I do not take them.
I was just like, ugh, ugh. And that, yeah, so people are like, oh, are you calling the cops? Did you talk to the cops? In like the comments too, they're like, if you were that afraid, if you're so freaked out and we're attacking them, why didn't you call the cops? And we did. We did call the cops. They didn't come. I said this on the first stream, where it's freaking me out more that they've twisted it and put lies into it. But like, I know I see a lot of people in chat being like, this can be more dangerous because it can be like talking, like doing it publicly, and that's what I'm saying. That's where we're gonna see where it goes from here. We're gonna see where it goes from here. This is the last I'm gonna talk about it. I have my flight to Ireland. I'm looking at apartments. I'm like, and this is the thing, chat. I'm not like leaving this house because we have this house for a while, but I will use it as my stream house. But I genuinely don't feel safe like anymore sleeping here, because we were lucky that we had a board game night. We were lucky that we had that Beyblade tournament, because it would have been so much scarier if they'd come at 1 a.m. on a Sunday and we didn't have like a bunch of people here. A bunch of people here. So right now, I think like at the time it was fight or flight where I felt confident against them, but now I'm like, I think also the fact that 3 of them are unidentified, kind of freaks me out. But the reason why I wanted to say this was because of the fact that she said I had COVID, and I like, that's why I was spitting on them. I said slurs. I threw a vase at them. She also said that Pete and Lewis said that they could come in, or like, and that was not, you guys turned them away several times.
We literally said that there's people upstairs. They're not going to feel comfortable with random people coming upstairs. Like, you can't come in. And they just insisted, and like I said, then they showed us like, oh, we used to live here, we're influencers, blah blah blah. Like, I don't, trying to use their clout to like get into the house or whatever, or to get into the gathering. The gathering was a private event. It's not like this house it's private events. Like, they don't have rager parties like these other content houses that everyone's invited to or anything like that. It was only the people that were at the event and the people that lived here. That's all that was here. It was not a rager. It was nothing. It was literally a board game night. We all were like, every single one of us were just around one table. Like, enough people. Like, it couldn't be a rager if every single person fit around a table.
But, and she was saying that you guys were letting them in, but we have the video proof of Lewis like being screaming at them like, fuck off. Like, he was like, it's just such a weird scenario. No, this isn't Lewis next to me. This is Petey. We could get Lewis to talk about his side too, but like, you guys saw the video that I posted of it. I'm trying to think if there's any more points before, because this is probably the last I'm going to talk about it. on stream, depending if I can still get my flight on Friday.
But like the moral of the story is they admitted to trespassing, they trespassed, and they literally admitted to throwing a rock, which is, I don't know if it's assault or battery. I don't know the legal terms, but it's one of those, like, they literally threw a rock. They admitted it. They admitted their wrongs. Anything that we did was not illegal or anything like that. They admitted to, like, crimes. Literally, like, idiots admitted to crimes, and I'm happy that they did that because literally that's proof for us. It's more of like a he said, she said type situation, and we're the ones with the property damage. We're the ones with the video of them and matching them to the thing, and we're the one with the video of them admitting to what they did.
But
I think that we discussed.
that's everything that I just wanted to cover, because after seeing what she said and like seeing the way they twisted it, I didn't want to talk about it again. But when I realized how like much lies were there, I felt like I did have to come here, because if I didn't speak about it again, it makes it look like, oh yeah, I did not. I can guarantee, I know usually I'm like, I promised my cat's life. I am so lucky we had so many people in the house as witnesses. I am so lucky that we had so many people in the house as witnesses, and we had the video proof, and we have the proof that he deleted his thing. Yeah, if I had COVID, why would they get in the house with COVID?
And we don't know these people. Like, we've never met them. We had no clue. Like the guy seemed like shook when we didn't know who they were, or like when they lived here. Like, I don't give a shit about your clout. But
Why won't you say her name? Because I messed up, because they said they were all at the Go House, but we only know 2 of them now, and 3 of them, and if there are more in the car, are unidentified. And I was making TikToks saying like everyone's name just from the Go House, and that was pure stupidity on my behalf, because we don't know who the rest are. We don't know. She didn't confirm any names too. And I'm not excusing that behavior because I was like, freaking out or manic. That is something I did wrong, and I genuinely apologize for putting several different names out there just because you lived in the house. At the time, I assumed it was still a house together, and it was like all one thing, and it was that. And that's where I take the fault, because I know 3 of them are still people from the Go House, but I named like 7 different people, and that's not okay. So.
And this is, like I said, this is gonna be like the last time we're gonna discuss this. We did our story, they have their story out there. Like, it's done. Like, if they literally did a few part video. Like, if they have more to add, I really feel like it's like them like trying to battle with us or make up more lies or whatever to try to save their ass. But like, when like at the end of the day they admitted to trespassing, they admitted to throwing the rocks. That is 2 illegal things right there. Like, we did nothing illegal. The worst thing that happened was she called them a cunt, which isn't even that bad. She does it on stream. Like, it's not a slur or anything like that. And even she admitted in her comments that she didn't use slurs. She just said cunt. So using the word slurs, especially on the internet, is like a big fucking deal. That could have been really, really catastrophic, especially knowing how people are on Twitch and on the internet and stuff like that. So I think it's very important to point out that it was literally like, get out of here, you cunts. Like, that's literally all she said. She said it like 2 times or something like that. Like, that was.
I definitely said it more than 2 times. I can say I know I used cunt a few times, but I didn't say like anything else. And so moving on from this chat, I wanted to say it here because I wanted to like give my side. I wanted to like just drop all the like ways she twisted it and the lies they said, and from now on, if anything more will most likely be a legal suit. So I'm sure you guys if it goes on, we'll hear about this again, but it will be probably months after if we do have to take this to court. Right now it's like legal issues are a big thing, where I think the smallest thing would just be a restraining order, but that's why this is going to be the last we talk about it, just to protect ourselves. We do have the screen door, broken through. We do have the window, cracked, but we do have to keep that for if it goes anywhere further, because what about the vase? It wasn't a vase.
It was literally a plastic Connect Four thing. There was no vase. There was no shattered. There was no shattered glass. There was nothing. It was literally Connect Four. We were having a board game night. The board game was next to her, and she threw it. That's all. Didn't hit anyone.
That's
didn't
so
hit anyone.
Embarrassing. That was a board game I threw.
I know. Didn't hit anyone. Didn't hit the car. It hit the floor. That's all. It did not hit anyone. It was nothing. And that was after we got rock. Well, she got a rock thrown at her and Lewis.
I hate America. I hate America.
It's LA, girl.
I'm more embarrassed because I'm always like, I do stuff, and I had my Firefly, and now I'm like already booked. Like, it's for Friday, but
all I know is that if it was in
PD and
Texas,
the others are like, you don't have to go. You don't have to be that scared. And I'm like, well,
I mean, it would have been a complete different story if they trespassed in Texas or Florida. Let me tell you that. They're lucky it's California, and they're lucky that it was us and not someone that was a little crazier or that was armed. Like that they trespassed, and like I said, they were aggressive. So like I said, they're lucky that it was California.
You're milking the fuck out of this. She said 3 different lies about me, so I was like, we've been talking, like we spoke to someone and they were advising us, and I just want to confirm that what she said is like our lies. Their lies. The part that she said was truthfully was that I chased them. I did chase them because it was right after the rock. It was right after the cop thing. I ran down, but then they drove the cars away from our entrance and then parked off the property and got back out. But I think now this is where we move on from this, because I understand a lot of you guys are like, oh, it's just like drama, it's Twitch, it's TikTok drama, but it's very different, chat, when you experience getting a rock thrown at you and smashing the glass right next to your head.
And strangers literally walking up to the house, like
being told to go away several times.
Yeah, and like you see other streamers, this is a common occurrence in other streamers' places. Like people have stalkers. You've had situations like
the razor stuff back in Ireland. Maybe I shouldn't have screamed cunt at them so many times, but I was manic. But I'm gonna walk up. I'm so embarrassed by Brian. I'll be back, and then we're not gonna talk about this anymore. You'll know how it goes within the months. If we do take legal stuff. But before I go, I just want to call all the lies. We did call the cops. I did not throw a vase. I did not say any slurs, and I did not have COVID, and that was not why I spat on them. I didn't even spit on them. I spat beside the car when they were still in our property because the cars were outside. So I just want to clarify all that because I don't know why they're making up lies. So I'm going to go wipe my face. We're going to move on from that.